Let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me. Guess what? You can't change me. Wow. And you can't change God. I think that's good news. So let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. Well, I don't know what anything is for unless I listen to that still small voice telling me this simple truth, that everything is for my good. So let things be exactly as they are. You can't change me, and you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. Well, I'm not this body that you see, although I love my body. Do you love your body? It's full of fun. I am as God created me. We are all one family, which Unity of Norwalk is very good at expressing. And it's possible to live in peace. So let things be exactly as they are. And you can't change me, and you can't change God. Let things be exactly as they are. And you and me will live in peace. Kumbaya. Gotta get the kumbaya in. I know. Come by here, Yolanda. Please, come by here. So hi. Thanks for having me, and especially thanks for having me on my birthday. That's really sweet. I appreciate that. So for some of you that may not know me and know what's been happening in my life over the past few months, my husband died in March, and it's been quite a ride. It's been quite a ride. We were together for 20 years, and he was the love of my life. So I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry all the time. Just a little bit here and there. But there's so much I want to share with you actually today, and I won't be able to do it all. Let's see what time it is. I won't be able to do it all right now in this particular talk. So if you want to stay after, there will be a lot more. Believe me, there's so much that has downloaded, as I say, in these past few months. And of course, you guys hosted me really right after Glenn's death, and it was very, very helpful to have your love and strength, and I appreciate it. And so, the topic today, but first of all, before I do that, I want to say my practice as of late and over the past few months has been what I call, and several different teachers call, self-inquiry, or inquiry. I always say inquiry, but anyway. And so that's what I want to do with you today, actually. I'm not going to lecture you. I'm not like, Mr. Sermon Man or anything, but I do want to share my process with you, and hopefully we can have a little back and forth, because I find this valuable, and maybe you might also, and you might have a comment or two to share. So let's begin. The title of my visit with you is "I Have Arrived," and so have you, actually. So let's do that together. Let's know that together, shall we? I have arrived. Okay, yes. Wow. So that's it. Okay, where's the food? That's a simple phrase, right? But wow, it is chock full of what I am now calling multidimensional experience. Right? So my basic question to you today is, who is this I that has arrived? Interesting. Who is this I that has arrived? Okay. So what I want to do right now is just do a quick contemplation. I'm actually going to take you through an exercise a little later on, which I think also emphasizes this question. But just for a moment, maybe Kenneth can give us some tinkly contemplation music, perhaps. Oh, that's pretty. That feels nice. Okay, so let's just take a deep breath. And I'm going to speak the words, and you don't have to speak them out loud or anything. But let's just take a moment and contemplate. I have arrived. And even further in our contemplation, let's see what the voice that likes you has to say about that I that has arrived. Who is this I that has arrived? Or perhaps, what is this I that has arrived? Or maybe it's even a how. How is this I that has arrived? Let's just sit with that for a moment or two. In the stillness, there is hope. It lights the way as I travel far to my certain goal of oneness with love. Blessed be. Thank you, Kenneth. Now, in the simplicity of that, and in the stillness that we've experienced, is in our hearts right now, and in the room, the presence of this stillness, I find such richness. And when I ask the question, who is this I have many things to say about it. However, I would like to see if maybe something resonated with you while we were contemplating. I mean, it can be as simple as, yeah, I'm Yolanda, I'm here, I've arrived, it took me 2 hours to get here or whatever, like that. Just a very grounded sort of thing, That's one way of arriving. Did anybody experience any other little, yeah?
Just that I can make the choices that I want to make, and it's okay, whatever choices I make.
Yes. Oh, I love that. See the wisdom in this room? One thing I like to emphasize now is that no one has spiritual authority over another person. And what I like to do when I'm standing in front of people is acknowledge the wisdom in the room. So, thank you. Yes?
Okay, this was a little interesting.
Okay.
Because what as part of my work, I sometimes work with people about how they were born.
Yeah.
I was forceps out. I was pulled out. And what came to me during the meditation was it's time to frickin' give up that resistance and just be.
Wow.
It's really curious that
That is curious, and that's interesting. Did everybody sort of hear what Deb had to say?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Could you describe a little bit of the resistance that you're...
Deb, you've got it right.
Oh,
I do.
okay.
Well,
Repeat what you said earlier.
okay, so what came to me during the meditation is how I arrived was I was a forceps baby. I got pulled out kicking and screaming. And what also came in the meditation was it's time to just give that resistance up.
Mm.
And I guess the resistance is just being okay, being me, being the spirit that I am. And sometimes I think in life I try to judge and compare and let that go and just, I did it actually a little earlier. I don't want to talk about that piece, but,
Yeah.
Just give up the resistance and just to what is.
Yeah.
And I don't really know what that means still, so I need to contemplate it more. So, thank you.
Fabulous. It's fabulous. Keep the mic on. Maybe we'll pass around and
Oh,
see
sure,
if
I can do
everybody... Anybody else? Yeah, oh, good.
Is it on?
Yeah, I left it on.
So I saw myself, but I saw everybody as just amazing magnificence kind of stuck in a small container.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I get that for sure. Awesome.
See your hair?
This is cool.
Did I see your hand?
Anybody else? Okay.
For me, it was, I've been working on integration, so it was like all the different versions of myself throughout my life coming home and coming back together as one.
It's so beautiful. Listen to this wisdom, right? Wow. And it's exactly along the lines of what I was planning to share anyway, of what people are speaking. So that's how wonderful spirit is, Anything else? Anybody?
Christine.
Oh, Christine.
My message was, I have a voice and it's okay to use it even if I feel afraid. And the other thing was, I don't have to settle for where I am. I can choose to move on.
Wow, you just spoke to my heart right there. Mhm. Nice. Really nice. Anybody over here? so blessed that you're here. And thank you that you're here. Anybody? Okay. Well, thank you for that lovely wisdom. What I've been experiencing is the multidimensional reality of our existence. Now, does that sound woo-woo? Were you expecting to get woo-woo today? Actually, in a lot of ways it does. It kind of reminds me of the 60s. When the moon is in the sun. Which I was swept up in. I was like, yeah, that's my world, you know. And there's a lot of truth in there, you know. Like, it set me on a path very early to sort of want to explore metaphysics, God, you know, all things related, you know, spirit and spiritual related, and it's been, you know, quite a journey. With Glenn's passing, I've had a great opportunity to experience him in a way that is not in the body. And actually, I was going to bring his phone up. You know, I keep Glenn's phone on, so if you have his number, you can still call it because, you know, I'll answer. But I keep it on because I've been having these mind-blowing, multi-dimensional experiences, which I shared with you last time I was here, of, I don't know, saying something, talking to somebody, being in a conversation, and all of a sudden, bloop, 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 you know, and it's like, punctuation. Oh, yeah. Okay, thanks for, you know, being here. And it comes at the weirdest times. But what that has done for me is it's reminded me that he's never left me, you know? And so I'm on this physical plane, and I have a lot of experiences here on this physical plane. Some I like, some I don't like, you know? That's my topic of my circle of love. We experience everything, whether we like it or not. And when we resist it, all we're doing is creating suffering, you know? So, and I know many of you have had the experience of a loved one passing, and I'm certainly not the only one. And I know you understand that when your world shatters like that, you're just like, ugh, you know. So part of what I now know the I to be is certainly not only my personality, which I'm beginning to allow to dissolve, if you will. I know I'm a colorful personality. How do you dissolve this, right? But there's a so I'll still be wearing what I'm wearing and everything like that. But there's a sense of an attachment to the personality for me that is being loosened, right? And that there's something so beyond that I've never even, I mean, I played lip service to, or I've intellectually understood, you know, and we understand these things, but is it understanding that really gets us to the experience? Is it? For me, not so much. You know? Because I can know a lot of things. I have 2 master's degrees, I'll have you know. I know a lot of stuff. And I was ordained at a seminary, so I know lots of stuff. But I want to say, this is one of the few times in my life, maybe when I was really super young, but this is one of the few times in my life where I feel like the understanding or the intellectual aspect of it all is not important. Now, you know, we got to learn how to drive the car and get groceries and blah, blah, blah. All this is what I'm talking about. But the attachment that I've had to being Yolanda. And then, of course, I wasn't born with the name Yolanda, so I adopted that name and made it my legal name. So how is it that we create ourselves, right? What is it that we do? So this this sharing is really a bunch of questions for you to contemplate, you know. How do we keep reinventing ourselves? How is it possible that we do that? Isn't there something that's always constant that allows us, gives us the spaciousness to make these reinventions? This is something I'm just now contemplating. Wow. So, yeah, so I think it's time for my exercise. Okay, I want to share this exercise with you. So it's the second meditation, but it's really kind of more even simple than that. But I want to tell you that when my teacher introduced this exercise in my life, it was profound for me. Now it's very simple, and you don't have to have a profound experience. Let's not compare or anything. But I'm going to take you through it, and then I'm going to ask you again, like, if you might have had an experience or what your experience was, and then I'm going to tell you what mine was, and then we'll just be like, hoo-ha, woohoo. And then I have something I want to read that to me is the outpicturing of this experience that I've had with this exercise. Okay, so it's really very simple, but let's do close our eyes and take a breath. Okay. Now, where are your feet? Keep your eyes closed. Where are your feet? Do you know where your feet are? Excuse me. Okay, with your eyes closed, not opening your eyes or anything, can you see your feet? Can you sort of know where they are, kind of what shape they are, what shoes you're wearing, what... Yeah? I'm sort of getting we can all do that, right? With our eyes closed? Okay. Now let's take another breath. And keeping your eyes closed again, where is your body? Can you feel your entire body? Can you sense the shape of your body, where your body is, what your body's doing, how it's positioned, how you feel in your body? You can sense your body, right? Yeah. You don't have to open your eyes to know where your body is. Okay. So let's take another breath. Okay. Now that we know where our feet are, and now we know where our body is, and we sort of have a relative sense of the other bodies in the room, can you sense, feel, know, see, however it occurs to you, the space that is holding your body, the space that is holding all of our bodies, this spaciousness that allows everything to exist? Let's just take a moment of sensing that. Now, another question. What is aware that you, quote unquote, are aware of this? What is the awareness that allows all of this to exist, take place on the many dimensional levels that are actually here? What is that? Are you aware of that? there is an awareness that we have access to that actually can lift us out of the mundane while actually experiencing the mundane, so that everything is not so necessarily precious. Let's just take a minute to notice that awareness. Okay. Blessed be. And so it is. Now, I just love doing this. I do this all the time. Now I get in the car and I'm like, oh, can I sense the vibration of the spaciousness which is holding the car. Now I know like I'm getting, sort of way out there and everything, but it's so much fun for me. Now maybe, let me hear from you guys. What kind of noticing happened for you? Go ahead, Maria. Yeah.
For me, thanks. For me, what I became really aware of is that it was a integration of the mind, which is here, the heart, and then the gut. So for me, it was three things that work together, and sometimes they don't work together. Sometimes it's just the heart, and sometimes it's up here. But whatever it is, I have access to. That's what came to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is going to sound a little simplistic, but it was interesting to notice that, like, with my eyes closed, I was aware that Michael was here and Lisa was there, and I could notice the people around me. But then it was like, whoa, they can notice me too. Like they're aware of me. So we're connected like that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. Wow.
It reminded me of the first time someone asked me to notice that space is what connects us to everything. And just the physical feeling of absolutely no possibility of separation. Yeah.
This makes me so excited. Anybody else?
I wish I had answered the first question, because this one is really something. Oh, okay, well, I'm glad you didn't hear that. Oh, I really had I had a reaction to the negative space. And it was comfortable for a little while, and everything disappeared, and then it just became a fog, like a fog that was pressing in on me. And that's where I left it. I can't say that was terribly comfortable.
Wow.
Yeah, it was suffocating me.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, man, that's right.
That's amazing though. Yeah, Michelle. Wow. Blessings, we hold you.
Okay,
Yeah,
set me up.
we hold you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Michelle?
So I felt very conscious of this. I felt like a deep inner knowing in my heart, and like a wideness in my brow. And then the space around me felt so light and cool. My husband's been putting the thermostat up, and I'm just appreciating the cool and the connection and the floating between, I don't know what it is, but just floating energies mingling.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, energy's mingling. Yeah. 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 Ooh, this makes me sad. Yeah.
So whenever I kind of try to go way in like that, I get vibrations in my body. I get them in my chest and in my head. And it's like a whir. It's like a brain whir.
Yeah.
And it's
cool.
It is cool, yeah. Well, actually, I think we're kind of at the time of my at the end of my time. Do you mind if I read one little thing before we go? That's exactly. Let's give ourselves a round of applause. That is so exactly what I was hoping to hear from you, because that was my experience. There's no way that we cannot be disconnected. This awareness of, I love the awareness of the awareness, that to me is just really awesome. But this awareness of this space that connects us all is really a way to reach the idea of oneness, because sometimes when we say the word, oneness, we are one, it's like, how is that so? But this is a practice that, if you're interested, you can do anywhere, everywhere, standing in line at the grocery, anywhere, and you can really sense, if you want to, the connectedness between all of us. So I'm so happy you participated and enjoyed doing that with me. Yay, thank you. Okay. I want to read you one thing, and then we'll move on, that from the Tao Te Ching, which I've been studying lately. This is Regina Dawn Akers' interpretation, and Regina Dawn Akers is the one who wrote the Holy Spirit's interpretation of the New Testament, which I know a lot of you know. She calls this affectionate leadership, and the reason why I'm reading it is, for me, once you understand that we're all connected and you really get that sense, it's we're all teachers. We're all teachers. We're all leaders. There's not one leader. That's why I say no one has spiritual authority over you. Everyone has their own spiritual authority. So she calls that person a sage. So I'm not, putting myself up there or anything, but that's just the word, she chooses to use. So she titles this affectionate leadership. Sages are not filled with desires, objectives, or self-will. Hence, they can adopt the desires and goals of the people. Now that's interesting. Which is kind of what I see developing here in your community. You're listening to each other, and you're connecting with each other, and you're adopting the desires and goals of all of you, Okay. When people are kind and respectful, I am kind and respectful to them. Of course I am. When people are not kind or respectful, does anybody know what the next line is going to be? Exactly! When people are not kind or respectful, I am still kind and respectful to them. This is the virtue of respect. When people are trustworthy, I trust them. When people are not trustworthy,
I still trust him.
exactly. This is the virtue of trust. How do sages draw the entire world into their hearts? They are in union with the whole world's heart. So do you know that little phrase, peace in my heart brings peace to my family, peace to my family brings peace to my community, peace to my community brings peace to the world, yeah, brings peace to the world. So let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me. That's this. How do sages draw the entire world into their heart? They are in union with the whole world's heart. The people focus their ears and eyes on sages because sages love everyone like their own children. Isn't that a sweet picture? I love that. So, not that you're, children or anything, but isn't that a lovely way to regard each other?
What's the name of the book?
Oh, it's the Tao Te Ching, which is an ancient, message. Many people have translated it. It's just that I happen to like Regina's translation. The author traditionally is Lao Tzu. You can find this translation and many more, on Amazon or whatever. Yeah, this is Regina Dawn Akers. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna let you just go ahead because I know I've run over a little bit, and there'll be plenty of. I have another song, but listen, I've got plenty of songs, so stick around, and we can do more songs later. But thank you for having me share with you today.